Good afternoon, Carolina from State Adventures here. Super excited to tell you about this charter for next summer, of course, to the Galapagos. So let's just dive right in. I feel that when we go through the itinerary together, it makes it a lot easier to be able to understand the logistics, how everything works, and what it is that we can do for you in the Galapagos. We have been specializing in the islands for 18 years. I have personally been to Ecuador 7 times. My team inspects so many cruises, so many hotels, so many experiences every year that I am very confident in the product that we offer you and all those little behind the scenes details that really make a trip an experience. So this is what we created for you for next summer. It is a private trip for 16 people. So as we get closer to narrowing down what works, what doesn't, if you let me know if there are any children under the age of 12, if there are special requests, I can tweak the trip further and make sure it fits your group. So this trip would start on July 26th. And typically I say you can start your trip anytime because it's private and it's flexible. But when we do a cruise, we have to follow the guidelines and the dates of the cruise. So this is built around a 7-night cruise in the islands, which departs on a specific date. So we have to arrive on a specific date. So July 26th, you're going to take your international flight to Quito. Once you arrive through Quito, you go through customs, get your luggage, and my team will be waiting there for you with a sign with your names on it, private vehicle waiting for your family to take you into your hotel, which is in downtown Quito. A few things. You don't need any vaccinations to enter Ecuador. You don't need any visas. All you need is a passport that has at least 6 months left on of validity on the date there. So have a peek at your documents before you travel. And once we arrive in Quito proper, we're going to take you to the Old Town. Quito is a really big city, very spread out. There's a modern part. There's a very beautiful, colorful Old Town. That's where I like everybody to stay so that you kind of wake up and know where you are and kind of get a good glimpse of life in the city. And Plaza Grande Hotel does just that. It's well located, has a wonderful restaurant, a wonderful team that spoils my guests here. I mean, we have so many people traveling to Galapagos. It is our #1 destination year after year. So we're here to help answer any questions, how to prepare, and and what to expect, because there's a lot of logistics when it comes to the Galapagos. It's a highly protected area, but we know all the ins and outs, so we will tell you all about it. And as you know, State Adventures has been named South American Expert by the Travel+Leisure magazine this year. So we definitely know what we're talking about, and you're in great hands. So the next day, after you wake up, after you have breakfast, and I want to point out those little BLDs, that means which meals we have included for you. There's a lot of meals included on this trip, but I don't like to include all of them, because if there's access to wonderful restaurants that you can enjoy the a la carte menu, then I leave dinner at leisure. And sometimes if a day is really long, some clients just don't want to go out to a restaurant. Maybe they want to have room service. Maybe they eat in the hotel and choose their own things. Then I give you that freedom. But of course, you let me know if you want all meals included, we can surely arrange them. The way we do Quito, we like to focus not just on the highlights, which is, the cathedral and the main square and the Pichincha volcano and all the beautiful overlooks, but we will also go taste chocolate. We will go into a wonderful local museum. We will go have ice cream, which is a really big thing in downtown Quito. And then we will go to the equator line. We will have all those fun experiments. So if there are kids in your group, they will have a lot of fun there, balancing an egg on a nail and things like that. All of this is privately done for your group. We go at your pace. If you love museums, we spend more time there. Or if you love to be outdoors, we'll go on a trail and do a little hike. Of course, lunch is arranged for you. I have a few places that I love. One is a beautiful overlook of the city, kind of like this. And one is on the side of the volcano with the crater just directly outside the window. So that's really fun as well for families. So we will go through those details as well, but it's all included. Then we take you back to the hotel and you can rest. And then July 28th, is another day that we're going to overnight in Quito, but I want to give you a glimpse of life in the Andes outside of the city. So we have a few options here. We can go down the Avenue of the Volcanoes to Cotopaxi National Park. This is volcanoes, horseback riding, lava hikes, beautiful lagoons, traditional lunch on a ranch, really great day in the outdoors. Or we can head north from Quito and go to Otavalo, which is the largest indigenous market in Ecuador. So this is for souvenir shopping, but also photography. All those indigenous communities come and they haggle with each other. It's a lot of energy here. There's great mountains and lakes as well, little villages that we go visit. We can go make some crafts with the local artists. So lots of different things to discuss here, and we can narrow it down. But you do have that day built in with a guide, with a driver, with our private car, with lunch arranged, and we can figure out what you want to do based on your group and your family's interests. But don't leave the mainland without seeing something outside of Quito. You really will not miss it. And then July 29th, this is where our cruise will begin. So because you have a group of 16, chartering a boat is the best way to do it. That way it's private, it's your trip. It really will feel like your group is spoiled on board because the team is just there to take care of you. So this is how we do it. We will take you back to the airport, and at the airport we have a Galapagos assistant. Why? Because you have to go into a line to pay a $200 entry ticket. You have to go into a line to get an ID card. You have to go through customs. You have to check your bags. You have to check your shoes. Everything is a different line. It's chaotic. It's early in the morning. There are hundreds of people going to the Galapagos. So we always want to make sure we take care of this for you. We walk you place to place. We get things ahead of them if we can. We prepay things if we can to make it as easy as possible to get you on that flight. 2.5 hours and you're in the island. So we take care of it all. So don't worry about that. And when you arrive on the islands, this is something new that we're doing this year. We have a VIP lounge arrival. So when you arrive, everybody else that's on the flight will most likely get off, and they're going to have to get on a shared ferry and a shared bus to get off the island, which has the airport on it, to go to the main island. What we do is we do it all privately. You go into a VIP room, you have a private boat that will take you across the ferry. You're not taking across the bay, you're not taking ferries. So we will take care of your family, make sure it's smooth, make sure you have assistance. Our team from the boat will be there. So they will kind of take care of everything. You're not lifting a luggage, you're not figuring out which bus to get on or anything like that. We handle it all privately for your family of 16. And then you're getting on the boat, which is the Natural Paradise. So I want to tell you a little bit about the boat because there are so many options in the Galapagos. There's probably 80 boats, but I only work with about 30 of them because I like boats that are ethical, that treat and pay their guides well, that everyone's taken care of, that they're green and sustainable, that they're using as little fuel as possible, and using local products to cook food. All these little details matter because this is the experience that you will feel when you're on board. So Natural Paradise is one of these sister boats that I love. I've been working with them for probably 16 years, and they have done nothing but wonderful experiences for my clients. So when we chartered the whole boat, they actually have 9 cabins on board, but maybe you are familiar with the rule in the Galapagos. No guide can take more than 16 people on any location. So every small boat like this will only allow 16 passengers. So what I'm doing is using 8 cabins for your family, and the 9th cabin will have something special for you, and I'll touch on it in a second. But there's different cabins. There are multiple cabins that have private balconies, and there are some cabins that do not have balconies, but there are suites, and there are double bedded rooms and matrimonial beds. For a family, I think that's wonderful. Usually people will put children in the rooms that do not have balconies, so that's safer. And then the adults get the beautiful balcony rooms, but you can discuss all of that. So the 9th cabin, what makes Natural Paradise really special when we do charters is that 9th cabin will host 2 additional people that will join the team. And that is our photographer, a professional Galapagos photographer who will join your family for the duration of your trip and who will take spectacular photographs of you. So you don't have to worry about it. He'll have a GoPro, underwater cameras on all the excursions, Your family will be documented, and you can purchase and get a whole disc of photos from him, or maybe purchase printed ones from him, whatever you want, at the end of the journey, which I think makes it so much better than trying to figure out photos on your own. And then the second person will be a second guide. This means that when you're going on these excursions, 2 pengas can go at once, with 8 people on each. There's never waiting. There's never any, splitting up the group. You can all go together with 2 guides. Maybe people who love hiking more will go with one guide who's more adventurous. Then people with small children, or grandma that doesn't want to hike but wants to lay out on the beach will stay with the second guide. Again, this is your trip. We will work together, but I love the idea that we're able to do this for you, because we have that cabin and they will take that lower deck cabin. So go through all of these details so you can see if the boat fits you. These are just some photos of the cabins, some doubles, some twin cabins, and balconies look like this. Bathrooms are really wonderful. They feel like a hotel bathroom. And then here's your decks. So you can see on the main deck, you have your dining room, your coffee station, your indoor-outdoor lounge, your breakfast place, and then two cabins plus a junior suite. Then on the lower deck, there are 2 cabins, which one will be for your family and one cabin will be for that second guide. And then on the upper deck, we have 4 more cabins, which are junior suites and suites, quite spacious with the private balconies. The bridge is up there, which you can visit, and I'm sure the kids will love that if there are kids in your group. And then on our top deck is our sun deck. That's where the jacuzzi is, and this, where we're going to have alfresco dining. It's so wonderful the way they do this, and they can include everything on the boat. What else? This is a new boat, so it's very fast, and that means you're spending a lot less time traveling, a lot more time exploring. This is the outdoor deck for dining. This is the idea of the itinerary. I love this itinerary. Look how many islands you will be exploring. There is no backtracking. There is no double visits. Because the boat is newer and faster, it is able to travel and sometimes visit even 3 sites per day. So this is spectacular. I listed everything you need on here so you can go through it. I also wanted to add that kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, snorkeling gear, wetsuits, all on board, all available for you to use as you please. So what does the itinerary look like? I've listed here every day what you will be doing, all the islands you'll be visiting, all the activities. I listed for you if there's a no landing, which means you only stay on a Zodiac. If there's a wet landing, which means you're stepping from the Zodiac into water, just like this lady here, you would be in ankle deep water, or dry landings, which you will have shoes on and you're going to step onto a rock or a deck or a dock. The highlights and animals. I mean, this is because you're going to such an array of islands, you'll be able to see so many animals, from marine turtles to land tortoises to penguins to iguanas, marine iguanas. You can snorkel every day. You will get into the water every day, as well as go on land every day. So don't worry that this is just a cruise sitting on a boat staring out. That's not it at all. You're going to be getting off the boat at least twice a day, if not more. This is another photo of the top deck with the jacuzzi, again, private for you. I have done some really fun things for charters for families where we put all the kids in the jacuzzi and put bubble baths in there, so they had bubbles flying everywhere, and it was so festive for them. So that is kind of like that special moment that can be created when it's a charter, because it's just your family on board and we're not disrupting anybody else. So continuing on, all these wonderful activities are included. What is not included? Alcohol is typically not included in the Galapagos. So there is a full-on bar, and you can start a tab and you can pay at the end. And tipping is not included. So every boat has kind of ideas of what they suggest you tip. You would only tip 1 time at the end of the cruise, and then it's split amongst the whole team. And you can tip on a credit card if that makes it easier. But besides that, pretty much you will never pull out your wallet. Everything is included. Internet is on board. They also have, emergency cellular or satellite phones if you need anything, or if we need a medic or things like that. But the Galapagos is run like a very well-oiled machine, and we just make sure that not only are you having a great experience, but that the wildlife is not affected, and that if we see some activities amongst wildlife that is odd, sometimes the itineraries will shift and you'll go to another part of the island, or you'll go to another site, so that we don't disrupt the activities of the animals. What to expect in July? July is that shoulder, or July/August is that shoulder season when the temperature is mild, because you're on the equator, so it's like springtime all year long. So I suggest having layers, because during the day you're going to need sunscreen, you're going to need sun protection, but in the mornings and late at night you're going to need sweaters, because that wind can pick up in the evenings especially. And then water temperature, we provide wetsuits for all your water activities, so you can wear those. But if you plan to get in the water without a wetsuit, you should expect temperature something like 75 degrees. It's brisk. I currently live in Florida, and we do a lot of natural springs. So it reminds me very much of summer in the Galapagos, because the water temperatures tend to drop in July and August, and then are really cold in September and October. So you're in that shoulder season where the water can be mild in some spots, and then around Isabela Island will be quite cold. So you're going to wear your wetsuits when you get in the water, and then you can do all the excursions. Nothing is affected by any means. Most clients actually don't wear wetsuits. They find that the sun is so strong that it's really refreshing to go in the water when it's 75 degrees water temperature. So go through the itinerary, see what you think about the activities. And then on the last day, which will be day 8 of the cruise, day 11 of your trip, we're going to take you back to the airport, put you on a flight back to Quito or Guayaquil. We can discuss this. And then you would book your flight home. So that is a charter for a family of 16 or a group of friends of 16, and you will have everything included. So all you need are your international flights and a passport to get going. I'm going to send you all these details. Let me know your thoughts. I'm here to help. Happy travels.